Welcome to the Markel Pod at BIBA 2025. Delighted to be joined by Katie Scott, editor at Insurance Times, and Jo Sykes, divisional director broker at Markel UK. Welcome to both of you.
Thank you.
Before we get into it, I thought we'd start off with a few BIBA icebreakers. So a couple of fun questions. So the first one is, what are your BIBA must-haves? So what do you pack before you come for these 2 days?
For me, this is going to be an incredibly girly answer, but I always buy new clothes to come to BIBA with. I always get a few new dresses. I kind of plot out what I want to wear. And I don't know, just it feels like a nice refresh to sort of turn up suited and booted, so to speak. So yeah, always new stationery as well. Always bring a brand new pad with me to fill with all the ideas and a few notes, that kind of thing.
That's a good tip.
Yeah.
Yourself, Jo?
It's got to be comfy shoes. The debate this year has been, do you wear trainers or shoes? But I have to stick with the shoes. And I said to the team before we came, if your feet don't hurt and you haven't lost your voice by Thursday, you've not had a good BIBA.
Yeah.
So yeah, you have to be prepared to talk a lot and walk a lot.
Yeah, that's so true.
Next question was about our game, and I was going to ask if you played the game, but I know that I asked you to play the game before
And I was
this pod
terrible,
as well.
so it was very
I wasn't going to say
unfair.
that, but
No, I'll put it out there. I was trying to decide whether it was better to use the thumbs to push the buttons or fingers.
Yeah.
And I didn't quite master it, but I will have another
You
go
can have a go a
later
bit
and
later on.
improve, I promise.
I was equally as bad, don't worry.
Okay, great.
And then I suppose just for anyone thinking about coming to BIBA next year, just in terms of any advice for somebody coming along?
Well, I think it's just a great experience, to be honest. You have to be a bit organised because everyone's quite back to back with their meetings. Everyone tries to fit so much into the few days, but it can be so productive if you just sort of have a bit of foresight, look at your calendar, try and get your meetings booked up, but also give enough time as well to wander around the exhibition hall, for example. Leave yourself a bit of free time to do those networking meetings as well. So it's quite a fine line actually between booking in the meetings to make the most of your time, so you're not wandering around thinking, oh gosh, everyone's busy, I can't see anyone, and then having that flexibility built in. So
Yeah.
it's
And
quite
it does
interesting.
go beyond the conference centre as well, doesn't it? Into
Oh,
the
yeah.
drinks in the evening as well.
Yeah, definitely. It's all military precision in the evening, getting to all the different events. Yeah, but it is fabulous to see. It's almost like insurance takes over Manchester.
Yeah,
It does,
is.
doesn't it?
Yeah.
Absolutely is.
Yeah. And yourself, Jo?
Yeah, I think, our industry comes up for some scrutiny sometimes, doesn't it? And I think this is just, it's a wonderful representation of the industry. And, insurers and brokers all together kind of and it's such a warm feeling. We were chatting last night saying that you end up chatting to people from other insurers, not just brokers.
Yeah.
So it's an amazing network opportunity. And I think for anybody new to the industry, it's a brilliant opportunity to, see the industry and what it's all about, really. It's a very long couple of days.
Well, the weather helps as well,
the
right?
The weather definitely helps, although we haven't been outside.
I mean, it looks sunny. It looks lovely
It
out
does
there.
look sunny.
Okay, so a couple of themed questions. So just in terms of our approach as Markel to BIBA this year, it was very much around the sentiment of partnership and working together and better together as well. So what does that mean for you just in terms of partnership? Because obviously from a press side, it's slightly different just in terms of building relationships.
Yeah, I mean, I think partnership's really important. I mean, if I talk about it from a sort of trade press perspective, for us, I feel really strongly about the role of the trade press. I think we're quite different to national press. We're part of the insurance community. Oh, drop my notes there. Part of the insurance ecosystem. And we're really embedded in because we want to contribute. We're there to be both that critical friend, but also then to shout out about best practice, raise those challenges, help the industry to collaborate, come up with answers as well. And obviously all that is fundamental when you look at what a partnership actually is. So in a way, I feel like we're a really valid partner of the industry to help it achieve its overarching ambitions and goals and just to constantly improve and better itself.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I know you've had various conversations with Jo and other members of our team, but I suppose just in terms of, from our perspective, from an insurer perspective, just in terms of the relationship with the press as well, Jo?
Yeah, I think it's really important, isn't it? It's kind of, Katie and I have just had a session in terms of, I think it starts with that relationship piece, doesn't it? It's kind of establishing that rapport, that you feel like you can trust and feel comfortable, and then talk about the ambition and plans. And it's a really supportive relationship as well. So, you're not coming at it from a kind of cynical, they're trying to catch me out. It's a really warm experience. And I think that's really important. It's kind of, and to be able to positively portray some of the things that are happening in the industry, and kind of like market the wealth of opportunity that's on offer, as an industry, really.
Definitely, because we can't do our job without that collaboration and partnership with the industry, because we're not in the insurers' businesses or the brokers' businesses at the coalface. Those individuals are, those professionals are, so we need to hear from them. What are their challenges? What are their issues? What do you need us to look into and highlight and flag? So that relationship is really important to us.
And if you could sum up partnership in a word or a phrase, how would you do that?
Purposeful collaboration.
Oh, nice.
Very nice.
Yeah, that's very
You can
nice.
tell I put a bit of thought into that. Yeah.
You prepared that. The journalist prepares. I think for me, it's around that kind of trust. I think it's really important in a partnership. I know I'm saying more than one word, Costas, but I think, having that healthy relationship that you can have positive but equally constructive discussions with people as well. Trust is massively important.
Excellent. Okay, so thinking ahead, obviously you've just come off a really productive conversation, but I suppose just in terms of emerging themes and things that you're seeing in 2025 and beyond, maybe from a journalist perspective in the first instance, Katie?
I think everyone's talking about market conditions at the moment, and I don't know how much insurers quite like talking about soft market, to be honest. I know that phrase has been poo-pooed a little bit by some that I'm talking about, but equally that's how the brokers talk to us about it. So that's been something that's been quite topical. Obviously there's been a lot of broker consolidation conversations, I think, as well, and it's interesting even seeing the sort of stands over in the exhibition when you're wandering around, how that's changed over the last few years as well, with the consolidation activity that's been going on, and then the rebranding as well. So there's some new colour schemes and things going on which have been very different. So I think they're probably the key ones that we've sort of been talking to a lot. Obviously the FCA announced their consultation on the first day as well about the rule book, so I think that's been something people have been talking about, especially with the FCA being present and correct as well next to the BIBA stand. So they're all kind of very topical things that we've been talking to people about.
And for yourself, Jo?
Yeah, I think I would echo kind of Katie's comments, so I won't touch on those. I think in addition to that, there's been a lot of discussion around how people run their businesses really effectively, and how they provide the best service to clients. Brokers and insurers have very aligned objectives in terms of how do you service that kind of small end of SME, whether that's utilising technology, improving your operational processes. I think there's similar challenges across the industry that we're all trying to grapple with, but with that customer in mind. So I think that's a really important build on some of the points that you've made as well.
Another subject of challenges that brings me nicely onto the next question as well. So I'll combine the two. So what do you think the biggest threats, and then on the flip side, opportunities are moving forward for brokers?
Yeah, I guess from my perspective, the premium finance consultation is probably something that brokers are looking at. Obviously, we don't really know what the results of that are going to be yet. I think the FCA initially predicted a sort of half-one interim report. We've not heard anything on that yet, but there might be obviously some read across there for brokers, so they're probably keeping quite an eye on that in terms of a threat. I guess in terms of something that's perhaps a threat and an opportunity, I'm going to say market transitioning. Got that one nailed this time. Because I guess while it does make it more competitive landscape, and there are then challenging conversations that brokers have to have with their clients, I guess in a way it's also a good thing that they are then having conversations. It makes it perhaps a bit of a communication touch point in a way, so that might present a good thing in terms of retention. And I guess another opportunity that it's something that we were talking about earlier, Jo, was about AI and technology. I think there's a lot going on in that space in brokers' businesses and obviously insurers, with that back office functionality in particular, to streamline processes, be more efficient, all with that end goal of then being able to ramp up service. So I think they're sort of the main ones.
Jo, I know you've been involved in the AI guide for BIBA as well. So
have,
and I
yeah.
know you spoke about AI last year as well. So
Yeah, I did.
just I suppose just in terms of your thoughts, just in terms of
Yeah,
the
I mean,
horizon.
it's an absolutely massive opportunity for people to, link into that point in terms of improving operational effectiveness of your business. And, to Katie's point on the transition in market, earnings are impacted if premiums reduce. So, that's a key factor. Businesses need to make a profit. So finding more effective ways of kind of running your business is really, really important. I think, the AI guide that we did with BIBA is very much focused on how, small, medium brokers can kind of how practical tips to help them, implement into their business, because you don't have to transform your business completely with one big AI tool. You can do your meeting notes, you can record them. I've tried doing it unsuccessfully a few times. But, the small tools and small wins that you can kind of implement from a technology perspective, and also the risks that presents. You have to be prepared for the investment, but you also have to be prepared for the implementation, because it takes focus and resource to do that properly.
Sure. Okay. Final question. What are you hoping to take away from this year's conference?
I guess it's just ideas. I think is primarily for us. We love getting to talk to all the different firms that are here, the brokers, insurers, just finding out what the hot topics are, what are the challenges, what are people concerned about. Just gives us loads of material to go away and have a little bit of a dig into. But it's also great to catch up with everyone, find out what the strategies are, what their focuses are for this year, what they want to get done. So it's a really nice catch up really on both topics that are prevalent within the industry as well as the firms themselves. And I'd say another thing I like getting out of it is a few new names for my little black contact book.
Sure.
It's great to meet so many new people at the different events, particularly in the evening events when you're sort of at the bar with someone or sitting at the table having dinner. It's great to connect and meet new people, and it's great. I go away with loads more people on my LinkedIn, and it's so exciting because everyone's so lovely. We always say it is a bit of a cliche, but it is a people-driven industry.
It is, yeah.
And I think that's a really nice thing to take away from the conference as a whole is a few new friends.
Yeah, definitely.
And yourself, Jo?
Yeah, I think there's been a real energy this year, and kind of like the theme of the new era. I think that's definitely generated a new level of kind of like what's the next thing for insurance, isn't it? And there's been a first. Katie and I attended the Women in Insurance breakfast this morning.
Yeah.
So that was quite a nice experience. Got my little
matching
I've seen a few of those.
matching
Yeah,
bracelets.
a few females on our team wearing those as well.
Yeah, but I think out of that, they're launching a women's forum, which will be really interesting.
Yeah, excited to get involved in that.
Yeah, really
definitely.
excited to get involved in that. And yeah, it's an amazing networking opportunity. So plenty of opportunities to reconnect with old colleagues or new. It's a really good experience.
Well, that's a brilliant place to end today's podcast. So just wanted to thank you again.
Thanks for
Katie,
having
really
me.
generous with your time. Thank you so much. And to you, Jo.
Thank you.
Really appreciate it.
No worries.
Thank you.
Thank you.